And introducing in the red corner, in the white trunks with the blue and red stripes, weighing in at 226.5 pounds, for the record of 5-0 with 4 knockouts, from Kitchener, Ontario, Lennox. The referee, Harry Davis.
Okay, good evening. I'd like both you gentlemen to keep your punches up at all times. Low blows or falls of any kind could cost you the round or the bout. If you gentlemen fall into a clinch and I ask you to break, I want you to break at my command. Is that understood? Shake hands now. Good luck to both of you.
And the judges, Chuck Williams, Bobby Bell, and Frank Bullard. But will they be needed? The sixth professional fight of the tremendous heavyweight prospect Lennox Lewis against the 31-year-old tubby white American southpaw Greg Gorrell, with a record of 21 wins and 60 defeats. And every conceivable physical advantage here to Lewis. He's 5 inches taller and he's 24 pounds heavy at just over 16 stone. Well, Gorrell already shaking his head from the effects of the long punches that are coming at him already. And Lewis seems to have a pretty open target, whether it's to the body or the head. That's a stumble.
Let go. Let him go. Let it go.
Well, even at this stage, early into the fight, it's difficult to see what sort of chance Gorrell has got here. You can see for yourself how difficult it's going to be for the man even to get near Lewis.
All right, break.
Lewis waiting for the chance to shoot the right across.
Break. Come on. Right back.
Lennox hasn't opened up yet. That's the right hand, the one he's been waiting to shoot. Instant reaction. That hurt. And Gorrell is already in some trouble. Opening round. Showing him the right again. Oh, what a good one. Driven right through. Well, he's got to his feet unsteadily early on. And there's a compulsory count. Well, you could have fooled me. Well, there may not be time for Lewis to finish it in this round. But the chance is there for him to finish it in the second. There's the bell. And Kitchener, Ontario rises to greet their man's tremendous first round. And it was all done with one right hand, which he actually waved and showed to the man before he threw it. Bit flashy, there it goes. And then pile driven right through to the chin. And it says something for Gorrell's resilience that he actually got up at about 3 and was able to continue. In fact, Lewis might be a bit disappointed that he didn't get it over in the first round. But it does say a lot for the strength of the white American. And he's already up on his feet. So a good start by Lewis. Now he needs to capitalize on it in the second round.
Wait for the bell.
Well, Gorrell knows now, the Southpaw American knows exactly what's in store for him, and the one thing he must not do, if it can be avoided, is to take that right hand again to the chin. And Lewis is going to the finish. Well, when he's in action like this, he really does look like a good prospect. But Gorrell seems to have escaped. A mark by the left eye.
Let go, let go, let him go, let him go.
Well, all hopes of winning this fight by Gorrell now, I would think, have gone out the window. It's purely a matter of survival now for the American.
Let go, let him go cleanly now.
I wonder why Lewis isn't setting up another of those big attacks.
Punch out, come on, punch out.
I thought he was going to finish it when he had the man trapped in the corner.
Okay.
Well, that's an ungainly sight.
Okay, come on.
Maybe worse things in store than that for Gorrell. I hope Lennox Lewis isn't going to ease up here. Complacency can sometimes set in a fight like this where you think you've got nothing to beat. You begin to take your time about it. And suddenly things slip away from you. Can happen.
Let go cleanly now, come on. All right, let go.
So it looks very much as though Gorrell is going to survive into the third round against all the odds. And there's no question that Lewis has eased right off. Well, that'll be a disappointing second round for the Lennox-Lewis corner. They would have hoped that he would come out. There's Mum Violet. They would have hoped he would have come out and finished that, having set the man up in the first round, but he hasn't done it. So in we go to the third.
Round 3.
Wait for the bell. Wait for the bell. Wait for the bell. Wait for the bell.
I think he's made his point. And Gorrell beginning to fight back a little bit, which just shows what happens when you let a man off the hook. Well, Lewis has got himself a wonderful deal financially. He's being staked in his professional career by a financial services company who gave him a six-figure signing-on fee. They've got him a house in Crayford in Kent and a car, and he's getting £500 a week living money. So we've got a good deal there. Hitting and holding. He's beginning to lose his grip on this fight, Lewis. It's sad to see, but he was holding Gorrell around the back of the neck with the left hand and hitting him with the right, and that, of course, is a foul. And he's doing it again.
Let go, cleanly now.
This financial deal that Lewis has got is very reminiscent of the one that Muhammad Ali had when he started his professional career. He had a syndicate of wealthy Kentucky businessmen behind him, and Lewis has got very much the same sort of deal, and it relieves the young man of any worries about what his purses are going to be over the first dozen or so fights. He can just get on with his work as a fighter. That's a good attack. Lewis was in 2 Olympics. He was only 18 when he went to the 84 Olympics in Los Angeles. And he lost in the quarterfinals there to Terrell Biggs, the man that Gary Mason beat a few weeks ago in London. Third round. And this crowd beginning to urge Lennox Lewis on. They liked what they saw in the first round. Now they want to see some more of it. Gorrell conceding 24 pounds, remember. So much of that weight is waist weight on Gorrell. He really could slim down if he wanted to cruiserweight or possibly even to light heavy. He's only 5'11". So 3 rounds have gone by, and Gorrell is still there. A little booing coming from this crowd, and I suspect they're not too happy with what Lewis is doing. Now, this was the incident that brought the referee's intervention here. He holds him around the back of the neck with the left hand, as you can see, turns him, and while he's still holding him, he gives him the right. And that was a blatant foul, and the referee moved in very quickly. And it was just as well that Gorrell didn't go down at that point, otherwise the referee would have had a very difficult decision to make.
Round 4.
Wait for the bell. Wait for the bell. Wait in your corner for the bell.
Well, 4 rounds is as far as Lewis has been taken in his pro career so far. 5 fights completed. None of them got beyond the 4th. I wonder if this one will. Gorrell appeared very briefly in Europe last year. He had a fight in Berck-sur-Mer on the coast of northern France, and it lasted less than a round. He was beaten by Anaclet Wamba, the man from the Congo, who is a French citizen, and Wamba stopped him inside a round with an eye injury, and Wamba, of course, has gone on to become the European Cruiserweight champion. But here we are on the 4th, and Lewis still hasn't got rid of him. And the whistles are beginning to come now, because people are sensing that he's not going about his work as well as he might. He's become almost lethargic now, Lewis. It's quite amazing. After the good start, had him over in the first, threatened to stop him in the second, and now he really is messing about. He really can do a dramatic job when he wants to. In Seoul, for instance, in the Olympics, I saw him stop a very useful East German called Uli Karden in only 34 seconds. But he's making very heavy weather of this.
Let go. Let him go. Let him go.
Well, on the break there, so a little foul from Gorrell, but it was only a slap. Lewis took Canadian citizenship when he went to Canada, but he's now putting in for British citizenship again to have it restored, and I would think that will be granted. And I know that his English manager, Frank Maloney, hopes very much that before the end of 1990, Lewis will be challenging for the British Heavyweight Championship, currently held, of course, by Gary Mason. But it looks as though Lewis is going to be taken into the 5th round for the first time. And you have to say that this, so far, is a pretty disappointing performance by Lewis against an opponent who's easy to hit and who was all over the place in the first round. And John Davenport, the trainer, is giving him a little bit of a talking to.
Just run them off. Just run them off. Understand? Run your shots off. 5 or 6. You have one version just double. Run that 3, 4, 5, 6 off, right? Short shots like any telephone booth. Just run them all off. Okay?
Well, he needs a talking to just to liven him up a bit. That's Frank Maloney leaning in from the left. And that corner now getting just a bit anxious about his performance. And they clearly want something a bit better.
You didn't do.
So he's going to enter new territory. Never been into the 5th round before.
Seconds out. Quick for the bell. Round 5.
Now let's see whether he takes any notice of the talking to. Well, that's better. It looks as though he needed a little bit of a G up from the corner, and he's going about his work a lot better now. If only he just kept the punches shorter. Oh, that was a good right hand. And he's cut. Gorrell is cut by the left eye, and he's in trouble. Another right, and he's over for the second time.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
That's a back cut. I don't think he's going to get any further.
Okay, you don't want to quit.
He couldn't go on with that eye. And he's cut on the nose as well. And so, Lewis marks up win number 6 in 51 seconds of the 5th round. Mum's delighted. And his next assignment will be a match with Noel Qualis of England, in England, late in January. Win number 6 as a pro for the young heavyweight prospect born in West Ham, London, who went to Canada, who has finished Gorrell here. Gorrell shook his head there saying, no, you haven't got me. But in fact he had, and it only took one more right hand to prove it. Cut badly. And just a human punching bag at this stage. And that was quite enough for everybody. One more look at this finish. He had nothing left at all, Gorrell. All the punches were coming through. And the referee, I think, could have stepped in even earlier.
That match by technical knockout at 51 seconds of the 5th round, still undefeated, Lennox Lewis.
So here's the young heavyweight prospect who is going to make his home and his career in Britain, and one hopes that he'll go a very long way indeed.
And introducing in the red corner, in the white trunks with the blue and red stripes, weighing in at 226 1/2 pounds, with a record of 5-0 with 4 knockouts, from Kitchener, Ontario, Lennox Lewis.
Old, tubby, white American southpaw Greg Gorrell, with a record of 21 wins and 60 defeats. And every conceivable physical advantage here to Lewis. He's 5 inches taller and he's 24 pounds heavy at just over 16 stone.
The referee, Harry Davis.
Okay, good evening. I'd like both you gentlemen to keep your punches up at all times. Low blows or falls of any kind could cost you the round or the bout. If you gentlemen fall into a clinch and I ask you to break, I want you to break at my command. Is that understood?
Well, Gorrell already shaking his head from the effects of the long punches that are coming at him already. And Lewis seems to have a pretty open target, whether it's to the body or the head. That's a stumble.
Shake hands now. Good luck to both of you.
And the judges, Chuck Williams, Bobby Bell, and Frank Bullard. But will they be needed? The sixth professional fight of the tremendous heavyweight prospect Lennox Lewis against the 31-year-old